Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. On this morning, I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm, okay? So like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things, okay? I wanted to talk about Castalia more, okay? Rest in peace to Castalia more, okay? I was just looking at his page, okay? I was just looking at his page, and I actually ended up finding some of his family members, okay? And I just want to say that my heart goes out to them, okay? My heart goes out to his family members, and I ended up kind of getting um the some tea on what happened. Of course, shout out to Rest in Peace, Young Dolph. I ended up reaching out to him on yesterday because someone had reached out to me to ask me if he was related to Daddyo. Of course, Moore is a very common name, of course. And then looking at his mother's name, she has a um, different last name, or it could be more. Okay, because I think what she has is she may have her kids' names as her profile picture. Okay, um, yeah, yeah, I'm looking at something, but um, in talking to Rest in Peace, Young Dolph, it was very interesting. Of course, he was taken out on La Paloma. I think that's the name of the street, La Paloma, in Castalia Heights. Um, and Rest in Peace, Young Dolph kind of gave me the tea on what happened with that, and I'm going to, because I kind of want to give it to you verbatim. I'm going to read to you just a little bit of our conversation. Okay. And I asked him, what happened. Because, like I said, someone had reached out to me and asked me if he was related to Daddy O. And he said that yes, Daddy O knew him. Okay. And he told me who they felt like did it. Okay. And I'm just gonna kind of sit back and wait on that one, set to talk on that one, of course. But I guess they'll send somebody to hack my phone, right? Until the feds get them. So I guess I may as well go ahead and say what he said, right? He says he was talking to someone named Fruit and them, who KEYGLOCK flew out. Soon, Fruit went back to Boyle Street. They came through. He was on La Paloma. You know how it's set up. That ain't too far from the Heights, which is Castalia Heights. He says, I'm thinking they thought he was Fruit. They look just alike. Fruit is just a little shorter. Okay. And I asked him, he says, it happened right before Glock was fixing to fly them to Atlanta for JRIP, J Rip birthday. Key Glock other friend and them same young niggas they tricking because they not gonna stand. Okay. Behind them. Then what got me, it's mighty odd. They started posting Lil Migo album right after. They ain't post that the first day. Okay. Now that was loaded because he kind of went into some stuff that I had asked him about who do they think did it and things of that nature, and he's not sure of who they think did it, but they have a feeling of who they think did it. And he says that it's a group of new young dudes that they have gone and started, tricking as it relates to, um, a group of young dudes um, with a group of folks. Okay. And And so, I asked, was he related to Daddyo? He says, no, not that they know of. Okay. But of course, Daddyo knows his mother because his mother, Daddyo is from over in Castalia. But I was looking at his mother stuff, and they came from down in Greenwood, Mississippi, right? Moore is a very common name, Lord Jesus. I be hating to kind of put out stuff because instead of people taking it for what it's worth, they look at, ooh, this is the way they eyes. But I understand when folks gotta eat, they start putting together anything. Any material that's put out, they like to take it and run with it, right? Because they just looking at, they just want to eat. But as I say, I just put this out. I believe that young rest in peace, Young Dolph is credible. So when y'all go to cap channels and y'all start listening to stuff that they put together, you can't come back and drain my energy, because I'm gonna tell you what happens. And I do love my subscribers, but this is what happens. A lot of cap vloggers that are sickly, mentally sick, just sadistic, because they're trying to change the narrative because they work for CMG or their affiliates, um, or they just trying to stretch a story to get the views and the money, right? And people go look at that and it drains them. They go, oh my God, but Miss T said this is, and then they'll come back for me to reaffirm and give them confirmation. And I can't leave, those entities, I've told y'all what's going on with that. I can't keep consistently trying to reassure people based on what I've been told, because you got cap people and sadistic people that they're energy vampires. I can't let them suck my energy either. Okay. And I would suggest that you all don't do it. Okay. There are some people who, when you hear them say, well, this is what I feel, I don't know, they're not giving you anything definitive. They're just saying based on what they think. But when you start seeing people putting a bunch of cockamania bull crap together and saying this is it, this is what it is, I don't look at a lot of that stuff, because I already know from the history of these people, they ain't doing, tell a bunch of lies. Okay. But rest in peace, Young Dolph. I do believe him because he's tapped in, and he's saying that this young man, that it was a mistaken identity. They was thinking that they was getting someone from KEYGLOCK's camp that was close in KEYGLOCK's camp, because they look just alike. And he had just been there with them. So evidently they had been watching him. And he said he do believe that they sent out the younger Trula members, the ones that they just recruited allegedly to go and do it. Okay. So y'all, this stuff got to stop. That's what I say about these young dudes that they consistently send out and do this, to do this crazy stuff. So now what's going to happen is they did this to him. He's saying that he's not related to Daddyo, and I'm thinking they was hoping that he was related to Daddyo. See, and that's what I'm talking about. They thought that they probably was thinking that, okay, because they immediately started saying that. But from my understanding, he's not related to Daddyo. But why would they want to target somebody that's related to Daddyo? And that's what I'm saying about when they go and recruit these young dudes. Daddyo has a long money. These young dudes don't have anything. So with Daddyo having long money, if he was a sadistic person, they already know where it came from, right? Or have a feeling. So what they did was, with them saying they basically already know where it came from, they put themselves and the livelihood of their family members and stuff in danger when they recruit. They don't. We know they don't care about these young dudes. That's why they go recruit them real young, and then they send them out to go and do this stuff, and then they hoping that they've targeted one of Daddyo's family members. Daddyo has been the least vocal person as it relates to he's a boss for real. He one of them ones that you definitely have to watch. Okay, because that's a real boss. He ain't got no Instagrams. You don't see him. He got that long money, and he can. That's what you call a real boss. See, these folks that have to constantly say they're a boss, you have to side eye them, because bosses really move in silence. Okay, and he is the definition of one. If you looked in the dictionary, his picture might be sitting right next to it. Okay, the definition, right? And so they send these little young dudes out to do this. They thinking they hurting KEYGLOCK. They thinking they hurting Daddyo, okay? And then they already basically, from my understanding, knowing or thinking they know who it is. And these little dudes go right back to their same little hoods, because they probably are, if they feel like they know who it is, they know the hoods. And then they put their family members in danger because people that don't give a damn about them send them out to go do stuff like this. Now, I'm not saying that it was Trula, but I'm telling you what he told me. He just said that that's who they believe it was, some of the younger ones that they just recruited. And so, then they said they start he says they started promoting Migo album. So did they do that? Because we know that allegedly they don't even care for Migo. But it's only certain times that they share stuff with him, and it seems to be a pattern. We know they started sharing his stuff when he was into it with Grove Hero, when he sent them dudes over there to that basketball court. We noticed that they started sharing his stuff when he was talking about he was smoking on a Dolph pack, and now they're sharing it again. So it's very sporadic, but it's always some type of event that had just happened when they do it. And so, I think that it's a darn shame. Rest in peace to this young man. They're saying that he wasn't a part of nothing. They are almost 100% sure that it was mistaken identity. Okay, because the person that deal with KEYGLOCK them, okay, I think he's the one that is related to Daddyo for real. But we do know that he deals with KEYGLOCK them, right? And so, I hate that this happened to this young man. And people were saying, well, he was probably into something. Hey, who's to say that he was not? But I'm telling you what I was told. It seems like it was mistaken identity, because he wasn't into nothing with them. He wasn't into none of that other stuff as it relates. Just because he lived in Castalia and he liked to do music and stuff, right? So hey, I hate that. Looking up and down the timeline, that's why people are saying, what in the hell is going on? This dude like beats. He liked doing beats and stuff, and he was always off to himself. Okay. And it's really sad, for them. That's the reason why they started putting, what is that, the one that was related to Daddyo. It's sickening. It's sickening to me what is really going on. So you got that man. I was looking at his mom and stuff. His mother and them are extremely hurt. When does this foolishness stop? And that's the reason why I said we have to be very meticulous about who we fund, so we can't get to KEYGLOCK. So it's like they see that the city of Memphis is allowing them to run rampant at this point until they start sticking them into that damn electric chair, because it's gonna happen. Okay, so this is our opportunity to try to get KEYGLOCK and everybody around him, and even try to mess with Daddyo. And so that's why when people have always come into my chat and stuff and talked about, what KEYGLOCK KEYGLOCK this and KEYGLOCK is the snake. KEYGLOCK ain't no mother sucking snake. They was after KEYGLOCK. I'm gonna tell you right now, that was a hit that you didn't even see KEYGLOCK. KEYGLOCK was hurt after Dolph was taken out. You didn't see him pop out for a minute after Dolph was taken out. Just like when they took young Dolph out, they didn't know how the feds was on their tail. There was a plot to get him. I ain't telling you what the internet said. I'm telling you what the people in the inside said. That's the reason why when people say, well, Miss T, you don't entertain it. I don't tell y'all everything I know. I dismiss it with the quickness, and I still ain't gonna let nobody come into my chat and put that in there, because the plot was to take out him too. Okay, so that's why when folks say, well, ain't nothing gonna happen to them, they know who put the hit on him too. They're just tying up the loose ends. That's the reason why they got all these young dudes. They know they getting ready to be indicted, and they trying to get all these young dudes to mess their lives up, and it ain't gonna work out. That's the reason why I say these fathers need to get into these young dudes' lives. Okay, because they're gonna get them taken out or their families taken out. And that's what they want, because they don't have no connection. You hear player code them say all the time. When I say, well, they, they'll do that. They got them doing that player code. Cypress, all of them say, Juke them don't care nothing about them folks. They ain't come up with them. If they ain't come, they talk like this. We ain't come up with that nigga. We don't give a F about him. He a crash dummy. We don't care what happened. We pay him. We don't care what happened to him. That's why I say these fathers got to get into their children's lives. Okay, now they done messed around. They really picking with the Don, because I look at Daddyo as being the Don. They ain't been able to touch him. I'm talking about nobody, because he don't give nobody the opportunity to do it. And you think you taking out his family member? They send these young dudes out. They put in their feet and put their feet in some quicksand, and they don't even realize it. Okay, and that's the reason why I say when people get around, and I tried to give Migo a pass, but I had been hearing stuff about Migo. Okay, from the police. So when somebody said police ain't got Migo up on the investigation, shit, you better ask somebody. But they don't care about sending him out to get these little dudes to do this stuff. You know why? Because they don't even like him. If you listen to the people from around that area that come into the chat, they'll tell you, just never you want him over there, still don't. He making him prove himself. And it still ain't gonna work out. Okay? But that's what he said. And I have to say that this is allegedly, okay? Hopefully that's not what happened. Okay, but he's always credible, and he did say, that they think that's who it is. Okay, but regardless of whether it was them or not, it was somebody. Okay, it was somebody. I just think it's a darn shame to be consistently just taking lives. It don't make no sense. Okay, and hopefully it didn't have anything to do with Lamigo. Now, let me go and straighten that up. Hopefully it didn't. But that's what's in the atmosphere. If it did, then hey, it's got to stop. But rest in peace to the young man. It could have been something totally different. I don't know. But I do know rest in peace, young Dolph is credible. Okay? And so because I don't know for sure, I have to say allegedly. Okay? But that's the conversation that he and I had. But I definitely hope that it did not happen like that, because he's saying that they believe it was absolutely mistaken identity, because the target that they feel like the target person that was the target was just with him and had just left and went to another street, was getting ready to get flown back out, okay, by KEYGLOCK them. Okay, so hey, this is sad. It is. It's sad on so many levels. Okay. to take somebody to have somebody's mother is hurting like this, and they got to understand when they do stuff like this, just like his mother is hurting, because the laws of the earth is you have to reap what you sow. Just like they made his mother hurt, whoever did this, I don't know who it was, okay, whoever did it, then it's gonna one day it's going to be whoever did this, it's going to be their mother. And I feel like we have to pay for a lot of the things that we have to do. We have to pay for a lot of the things that we do based on our emotions. But y'all, please stop letting folks pay you and send you out to create bad karma for you and the people that you love around you. It ain't worth it. It's not worth it at all. That's the reason why I say these fathers got to get back into their sons' lives. We see how they pulling these young dudes into stuff. They want them to lose their lives. They going and getting anybody that they never would really affiliate with because they don't have an emotional attachment to them, because they know when there is some retaliation, and there will be some retaliation. It always is. Then they're going to go back and hit the person that took out their loved one, and the person that paid them to do it, they make sure they have no type of emotional connection to him or none. Oh, okay, well, at least he hit our target. He gone. We don't give a damn about that nigga. We didn't even know him, just paid him. That's what's going on. And it's a shame before God. Okay. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. Okay. I love you guys. I'll talk with you later.